Hi, welcome to 10-Minute Tips, where our topic this evening is Google Tools and Blackboard. I'm going to share my screen with you. First thing that I wanted to make people aware of, in case they aren't, inside of your calendar and your mail, you will see a small checkerboard in the upper right corner here. If you click on that, those are all your Google apps and tools that are available to you. So you've got Mail, Calendar, the Drive, which is a repository for your files. You've got Docs, which is similar to Microsoft Word. You have Sheets similar to Excel, and Slides, which is similar, a little more basic than PowerPoint. There are some additional ones down here like YouTube, Forms, Hangouts, things like that. So I want to go to my Drive. I've created some files already that we're going to use for this demonstration. So first I have a Google Doc. I am going to share this in my Blackboard course. I want to share it as a hyperlink. For that, I simply need a URL from within my document. So I open it up in Drive. I go over to this right side and click on Share. At this point, this is where I could actually assign some permissions to other individuals. I could let them view, comment, edit, but I'm not going to do that at this time. Instead, I need to get a URL that I can use to share inside of Blackboard. You can set up a number of different possible permissions. You could say that anyone could edit it. You could say that anyone at the College of St. Scholastica with the link can view it, which is actually a pretty good choice. This will require that they enter Blackboard using their St. Scholastica email. So anyway, I'm going to select this as my permission. Directly under that, if I click on that URL, it'll turn blue. I will do a Control-C to copy it. I'm going to say done. I'm going to go into my course, into the area where I want to add this hyperlink. A hyperlink can be added anywhere that you have your course content, where your course content has a text editor. So all you do is you highlight a word or a phrase. I'm going to highlight the whole phrase. Over here, there is a insert edit link. It's kind of a chain that's connected. If you click on that, it'll open a new window. First thing that it wants to know is what the link path is. That's that URL that we copied from our document. So we're going to do a Control-V. You always want your target to open up in a new window, blank, and submit. And then I'm going to submit this. The next thing that I want to use, I'm going to go back to my Drive. I'm going to close this. Here's my Drive. Next, I will do the Google Slides. The Google Slide is going to have to be added as a web link or a hyperlink. You won't be able to embed the Google Slide. So you're going to go, and you can't use the share over here because we want to establish some settings for the slideshow. So you're going to go File, Publish to the Web. You can say that you want it to auto advance every whatever. I'm going to keep it with the default at every 3 seconds. I want the slideshow to start as soon as the player loads. You could have it to restart. Anyway, and this is my URL that I want. I'm going to click on this, say Control-C to copy it, close this, go back into my course. I'm going to build content, add a web link. The URL is the one that I've just copied, so I'm going to go Control-V to paste it there. I can give some additional descriptive information if I want, and submit. Then the third way that I'm going to build content here or add Google Tools or Google product into the Blackboard is to go to my drive. It's going to be a Google Sheet. And for this one, I want to embed it into the course content area. So for embedding, I'm going to, again, I want to do a file publish to the web. I just have to wait till this is available. File, publish to the web. I want to select embed, not link. I can select the entire document or just sheet one. So if I had multiple sheets, I could include them all there. That will give me the code that I need to copy. So I just click on that, Control C to copy it. I'm going to get out of here, going back into my Blackboard course. I am going to build content. I'm going to add an item, and I'm going to embed. In the text editor this time, because it's code that was offered, I have to go over to this HTML button over here, click on that. I am simply going to Control V to paste that in there, that code that we copied earlier, and update. This yellow or orange box that you see, that's the width that you're going to, the actual size of the display that you will see inside of Blackboard, or your students will see inside of Blackboard. And I'm going to submit. So I have a hyperlink. When the student clicks on the link, it'll open in a new window and they will see the document. I have a web link. When the student clicks on the link, it will open that slideshow, and every 3 seconds the slide should advance. I'm going to close that. The last item is that we embedded this this sheet directly inside of the course here. Now the really nice, cool part about Google Drive is that you can go in and make a change in your drive to one of your documents. So let's say I needed to update a syllabus or something. For this, I'm just going to do a color change so that we can see that. I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back into my drive, and you can see it's already showing up there. Go into my slide. Again, I'll change the color for my slide. And I'll close that. And you don't have to save. It's automatically done for you by Google. The last item is the sheets. And I'll make a change to my Google Sheet. And I'll close that. And you can see all of the changes are there. When I go back into Blackboard and I click on the hyperlink, it's been changed. When I go into the web link, the slideshow has been updated and changed, and it'll still advance every 3 seconds. The embed code, however, the change happens. It's just not as quick as the others. So you will want to make certain that before you make something available to the students, that the update is in fact available to them and they're not looking at some old information. On the opposite end of this, let's say that you are working inside of your class in Blackboard. When you see a mistake, you could go in through Blackboard and make a change right there, close it, and then go back on your merry way. When you enter into it inside of Blackboard, it's there. When you go to your drive, it looks like it's not there right now, but it'll update in just a moment here. And there it is. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful, and you have a great evening. Thanks. Bye.